Today officially marks a bit of uncharted territory that we're in for Vanguard and Warzone. As you may know, Season 1 got extended and Season 2 got delayed. In an alternate reality, we'd be seeing Vanguard and Warzone updates going out already and into tonight, setting the stage for Season 2's launch and the coming content to follow. That, however, isn't the case, and instead, we're left with this giant question mark as to how we'll kill that time for the next 2 weeks, leading towards the next seasonal launch and the next massive update for Vanguard and Warzone, bringing along new weaponry, maps, changes, and all. Today, we're going to be discussing the week ahead and what begins the strange end of Season 1. As we go along, let me know your thoughts down below. Are you looking forward to anything in particular? Are you hoping we see anything out of the course of the next 7 days or so? Anything you still need to complete along the way for the end of Season 1? Whatever the case, drop it down below. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor, drop a like on the video. It helps out greatly in the algorithm, both liking and commenting. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Stay up to date with all things Vanguard, Warzone, anything like updates, news, loadouts, tips and tricks, Easter eggs, retrospective looks at some of your favorite COD games and all. We've got you covered on the channel. So if you're interested, I'd love to have you in the community. That said, let's jump right into it. First and foremost, a bit of a disclaimer for this upcoming week, or rather I should say right now, the upcoming 2 weeks ahead here to close out Season 1, we really don't have a whole ton of what has been transparently detailed to us from the Call of Duty official end of things. Raven, Sledgehammer, and the official Call of Duty accounts have all been rather quiet as of recently, but we can derive a bit of things by looking at previous patterns that we should be looking for. I don't like to normally start a video with speculation, but it's kind of warranted at the moment when you look at the void that is the next 2 weeks. For starters, we'll of course have our playlist updates coming later this week, though strangely, we actually for the first time in the season don't have any of these previewed as the time of this being recorded. I'm assuming that, knowing my luck, the update will be made to the Trello board as soon as this thing goes live, but right now, currently listed across the Warzone and Vanguard Trello boards, we have a relatively empty upcoming slate for the games. Listed only on the Warzone Trello board with the upcoming playlist section scheduled, which is this week's ending on Thursday, but the remaining 10 days or so are unaccounted for at the moment. In additional strange insight from the Trello board, the only XP events that we have listed start actually after the launch of Season 2, starting on the 17th for PlayStation users first and a day later for all platforms at that point for that upcoming weekend, which is a bit uncharacteristic given that every season we've seen so far in the last year and a half or so at this point, we've seen a season-ending Battle Pass XP event for those that have not completed the pass in those last-minute efforts. So that could be something that we see coming in the next couple of days, but right now it's not guaranteed. Also on the Trello board side of things still, there is a bit of prospect of a handful of pressing, or rather priority issues listed that could have fixes coming across Warzone or Vanguard. For the Warzone side of things, there's weapon model artifacting still happening, platform-specific performance issues are still being dealt with, exploit spots are still an issue. Apparently there's a big one now on mines. Loadout drop issues are still persisting, where sometimes it'll drop through the entire world. Notably, one of those is the peak spawn points. That one's happened to me quite a few times recently. Buy station freezing still persist. I know they put out a fix for that, but that still happens to me and quite a few other people basically every other game. Mastery camos are still inaccessible on the well gun in both Warzone and Vanguard. For some people it is on Vanguard, but it's not for everybody. But then transitioning to Vanguard with that, XP is still not tracking with Helena, thus causing inability to finish operator levels. Bugged party matchmaking is still persisting. Paid for bundle issues are not granting full content. Attack and guard dogs are not working properly for players. High alert works improperly for some players as well. There's bugged map rotations in quick play. Cold-blooded will have this instance where it can toggle on and off players' aim assists on controller, which it shouldn't be doing. But that's just a handful of things here that have been listed. If you've seen it on Twitter, they haven't really quite expanded to anything in-game talking about this stuff, but they've been deploying fixes for these sort of air quote smaller things because they're not affecting either as many players as a complete game-breaking issue, or it's something that can be fixed without a title update. They've been fixing these technical things on a relatively out-of-the-blue schedule, where one day we might not have any idea of when it's going to be fixed, and 6 hours later a fix could be deployed. So this week I'd definitely say look out for more minor adjustments and updates. We've had a couple of weeks now in a row where we've had 1, 2, or 3 updates fixing out a handful of things at a time, but be on the lookout for that. That said, when we talk about how some things are more so scheduled than others, there are a ton of things that are actually listed with a fix scheduled. Now, for those type of things here, I would imagine that that is being withheld until Season 2's launch. Only a couple of these things really, I think, may affect the majority of the player base at large, so it might not necessarily be on their major priority list here. It's things like coming down to the preview listings of a bundle MVP highlight reel. Smaller things like that that might not be interacted with as much and therefore may not be as big an issue. And so those sort of things look to be coming, I would imagine, with the Season 2 launch, given that's probably when the next title update is for Vanguard. That said, that's a decent bit of speculation, but one thing that isn't speculation, one thing that is fully confirmed, from February 4th to the 6th, you can tune into the opening weekend of the Call of Duty League starting at 3 p.m. Eastern at 12 p.m. Pacific on the Call of Duty League YouTube channel. For those that were on the channel here last year, you know we worked together and it was a blast. I got to finally combine some of my favorite aspects of Call of Duty, chatting with you all about what's going on while also bringing in the lesser known side of things, my interest in the competitive scene over the years, and it made for a great team up. I'm happy to announce that I've partnered with the CDL again this year to continue to combine my love of Call of Duty, competition, and the growth of the scene, and we'll be chatting all things competitive COD from time to time over the next few months. While there certainly have been some bumps in the competitive COD road as of recently, I'm positive things will find their footing and come the core focus of the competition itself. I'm incredibly excited to see how year 3 unfolds. There's a lot to look at this year. Atlanta faces road to repeat and hold on to that crown. The Texas Optic and the super team here, that fabled run they could have. Seattle Surge's comeback and maybe the glow up arc. The subliners with Clay and Crim getting reunited. The newcomers of the Boston Breach and what they hope to accomplish in their first year as a franchise. There's a lot on deck. Toronto Ultra struck first blood and took home the Kickoff Classic, but what's the rest of the year hold? That's what I'm excited to see. This season is set up with a hybrid online LAN format with 3 weeks of qualifying online matches throughout the league leading up to bracket play in the way of 4 majors. With LAN events back this year, fans can take part in the excitement for the entire year, COVID restrictions willing. Going from Dallas to Minnesota to Toronto and finally New York, the majors will be a key focal point of the season's landmarks and paving the way for the road to champs. Outside of that, you'll also see things throughout the year like All-Star Weekend, a new Pro-Am event, and even a relegated Warzone tournament, which my eyes are definitely on that one as a big Warzone guy. So there's a lot in store for this weekend's opening of the season and what's to come as the months go by. Tune in on February 4th to check out all the action starting this Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific on the Call of Duty League YouTube channel, and you can even earn exclusive Call of Duty League rewards applicable in-game like the Armed to the Teeth blueprint, emblems, calling cards, and more. Make sure that you have your Call of Duty account and your YouTube account linked to take advantage of that. There's tons of action, even more stuff to earn along the way, so I'm looking forward to it. Check it all out this weekend, and thanks to the Call of Duty League for sponsoring this video. Now, that said, for the next immediate 7 days here, there's really only one other thing that I could expect to see happen here for Vanguard and Warzone. That being potentially some new teasers for Season 2 content that could happen this week, and a big emphasis on could. Predominantly, I'd expect a lot of what we see in terms of previewing, revealing things to happen as of next week, but we're in this weird space where Season 2 doesn't look to start at our normal tail end of the week start point that we've had the last year and a half, 2 years or so at this point. Thursday launches have kind of become the norm, but right now it seems like Season 2 is slated to kick off on Monday the 14th. So when you consider that that timetable is sort of shifted in when the delivery will happen, we also have to consider that that delivery of the reveals and messaging will be shifted as well. And with losing 4 days out of the next 2 weeks to weekends, that gives us, not including today, 9 business days that we could see things start to roll out in terms of those previewing, that messaging of everything here with that. So we might start to see some stuff here as of this week. I'm expecting the bigger stuff to be next, but maybe we get an ending cutscene for Season 1 or something like that. Maybe we end up getting a tweet previewing something or building up some hype, but keep an eye on that as well. But outside of that, we just have the end of Season 1 to look forward to. Some things that you definitely need to do before we end up rounding into Season 2. One of those biggest things, of course, being your Battle Pass. We've had plenty of time here so far, but if you haven't completed this, gotten a Tier 100, you still have 2 weeks to do so. So even if we don't get a double Battle Pass XP event, you still have plenty of time to make some headway on this if you haven't gotten things like your Harvester Cooper Carbine Blueprint, the Awoken Francis skin, and everything leading up to that point. Also, make sure they hit at least Prestige Master here for a couple of different reasons. Number one, of course, the ranks will reset here with Season 2. Whatever Prestige you end up finishing at, upwards of Prestige 7, that's when it marks then the Prestige Master. That for next season will start as your baseline. So if you got to Prestige Master, you're going to start out at Prestige 7 level 1, and then every 50 levels will be a new Prestige. But if you get to, say, Prestige 6, which is level 150, if you get anywhere from 150 to 199, it will reset you back down to Prestige 6 level 1. And then next season with Season 2, you can still be Master Prestige at level 200, but to get to the max Prestige available, you'd have to go another 50 levels after that. So making up some past ground here with that. But if you cared all about that, make sure you do. If you're catching up on Prestige ribbons, you actually can do that now. Every 200 levels counts as a Prestige ribbon if you didn't get them in Black Ops Cold War. For me, I was missing 2 Black Ops Cold War Prestige Master ribbons, so whenever I was grinding Atomic, that helped out a lot this season. I hit 200 this season, which was Master Prestige, but then when I hit 400 400 that made up one of the prestige ribbons I missed from last year, and then 600 I again made up a second one. So you can do that. With the extra time, you may be able to do it with relative ease, but assuming you're also in the business of considering Master Prestige, you probably already got that level 50 blueprint, but if you haven't, make sure you at least hit level 50. Seasonal challenges, I'm not necessarily sure if this was something that's been announced just yet, that in Season 2 you may be able to continue working towards it, but just in case, if you care at all about that Mastery calling card, make sure you complete either your multiplayer or your zombies seasonal challenges on offer, because we will get a new set of those with the Season 2 update. But that said, the road to the end of Season 1 here is quite a strange one, rather radio silent, which is very interesting. So we'll see what the next week holds here for us, but right now it seems like we're kind of navigating this ourselves. So that's going to do it for this video, but once again, make sure to check out the Call of Duty League's opening weekend this weekend, starting February 4th at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific on the Call of Duty League YouTube channel. Make sure that you link your Call of Duty account and your YouTube account if you do so that you can end up earning items like the Armed to the Teeth blueprint, emblems, and calling cards along the way. With so much action upcoming this year, you won't want to miss where it all begins. Check the link in the description below to make sure you don't miss out on any of it. Thanks once again to the Call of Duty League for sponsoring this video. Outside of that, that's what we're going to call it. So let me know your thoughts down below. What are you hoping to see here out of the next 7 to 14 days before we end up rounding into Season 2 here? Anything in particular that you're really hoping for? Anything that you think will happen? Whatever the case, drop it down below. But if you enjoyed the video, do me a favor, drop a like on the video. And of course, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing running all things Warzone, Vanguard, and of course, Season 2 content as we ramp up towards that here in the next coming days to weeks. But that said, thanks so much for watching. Honest Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.